Well. If it isn't Miss Blow Everyone Up in her life about starting a podcast and then starts the podcast and then can't be consistent with the podcast to save her life, well, I got some explaining to do. And I'm pretty sure y'all will forgive me after this. Or at least I'm hoping, so whatever. Welcome to the Mental Wealth Agenda podcast, a platform created to normalize conversations around mental health and realistic self-care. I'm your host, Shadia, and I'm happy for you to be here with me, especially if this is your first episode.
All right, y'all, this is a voiceover letting y'all know that my microphone actually wasn't recording the whole time. I didn't know until editing, so sorry for all the background noise that I didn't intend on having. Back to the episode.
Go ahead and subscribe on whatever you're listening to, and also if you're listening on audio, know that there is a visual out, so go ahead and check out our YouTube page as well. Now, before I get started, I will mention I have been gone from podcasting, but I've been active on my social media, especially Instagram and TikTok. I've definitely been putting out videos, I've been putting out reels, and if you don't follow me on social medias, then you should definitely do so, because if I'm not dropping podcasts, I still am, posting to my story or dropping funny videos and stuff like that. So just wanted to get that out of the way. Now, if you already know me in real life or actually really support the Mental Health Agenda on my other accounts, you know I really haven't been missing. You know what I've been up to. But for those of you who only listen to my podcast, you're like, probably figured that I actually quit podcasting, and I didn't. I just needed a break, and that's basically what this episode is about. What that break was about, because it's been so long, I just feel like I need to catch y'all back up. And if you're new here and you feel like you want to look at those other podcast episodes first before listening to this, feel free to do so, and make sure you come back to this one. Now, the last episode I dropped was probably like March or April. It's literally September. It's September 30th as I record this podcast. So by the time it drops, it probably will be October. And that feels so bad as a content creator. Like, it just feels like, damn, I ain't been doing anything that I didn't work so hard to get towards. Like, it took me a while to be comfortable with recording videos or recording podcasts or being vulnerable with my page. So to see that I didn't keep myself consistent, at first it was bothering me. Like, I started to try to prioritize my brand, like podcast and everything. I was gonna try to prioritize that, regardless. And I realized that wasn't even self-care. And I'm like, that's not self-care of me. And it's really not very demure for me to be talking about realistic self-care when behind the scenes, I'm not even really caring for self. I'm just putting things out for other people to believe I'm caring for self. And it's like, that's exactly where we go wrong. And that's something that I have struggled with starting my brand as a mental health page, because this shit is not all sunshine and rainbows, and it's not all positive affirmations either. So being someone with a chronic mental illness, which I've discussed on my platform before and on podcast episodes as well, if you'd like more details, but living with a chronic mental illness, it's easy for me to say, like, oh, I'm not worried about any project that I have been claiming to want, because now I'm not feeling good, and now I feel like all of that is like pointless anyway. So yeah, let's start off with the fact that I started working some new job positions earlier this year. So after my last episode dropped, I actually was working like a new job. I was still new to my position, my organization. I actually work for a local nonprofit, and it's a small nonprofit. So I really, truly love the work that I do. I'm appreciative of my director. I am appreciative of our organization. The fact that I am an actual witness to the impact that we make through that organization compared to other organizations that I've worked in before. All I know is that the kids that we serve love us. The parents that we serve are appreciative of us, even if it's it don't matter what's going on. They are appreciative of the services that we provide. So at the end of the day, I know that the work that I do is needed, and that's really what keeps me focused. So I started working with our organization with our after school program, just a couple hours a day during the week, and then we transitioned to a summer camp during the summer. So when I say I did not have any energy for the mental health agenda over the summer, because we were literally working 7 hours a day with kids, and I'm not saying a few kids, we got 30 kids at each site. Not to mention the fact that sometimes our sites, we're linking up, we going places, we going to the pool, it's 40 kids, it's 45 kids with us. Like, bro, we going everywhere. So I really had to put my energy and my focus into my work this summer, and I just was like, with everything that I have been experiencing this year, because honestly, it's been a long year, I think that I started experiencing a deep depression, really, like a depressive episode that lasted me March, April, May, honestly, to June. That was tough. So for me to be getting up every day and working with kids, whether it be the after school program or the summer camp, I just feel like Q2 of this year was really tough for me. So I decided that I would use all of my energy, devote all of my energy to my work. And in return, I can honestly say that it paid off really well for me. I can sit here telling y'all now that even though it was stressful over the summer, obviously I was stressed, especially because I'm also the site lead. So, everything was coming down on me. It took a lot of energy for me to do what I was doing in work. However, now that I'm looking back on it, I'm really grateful for the summer that I had with the kids, because it forced me to be in a position to kind of heal my inner child. And when I say that young Shadia had a blast all summer, she really did. I went horseback riding for the first time, and I ain't talking about, just a little 5 minutes, 10 minutes, no. I was literally riding a horse for a whole hour, y'all. Do y'all understand what that did to my mental health? I'm telling you, and it was a Friday too, so that whole weekend, I was just grateful for life. Wow, I really was just riding on that horse, and this is just the life that I have. And also, a lot of the kids felt that way too, because this was the first time plenty of these kids, went horseback riding. It was scary and it was exciting, but I was grateful for that experience. But I also spent so much time outside. I'm saying so much time outside that it's literally, tomorrow is October, and I still am dealing with this sunburn on my forehead. I made a big mistake this summer and my forehead got sunburned. But anyway, I literally spent almost every day outside. If not 3 out of 5 days a week, we were outside for at least 2 hours. And some days it was super hot, and I just felt being an adult, and I'm complaining, oh man, it's so hot, it's sunny, I'm thirsty, these kids are complaining, I'm complaining, nothing is fun right now because I just don't want to be an adult. But then other days, I literally just took advantage of healing my inner child. I really hope you guys can't hear that in the background right now because of this microphone, but there's some construction or some banging or clanging or something that's going on right outside this window. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be so irritated if it is, but whatever, I'm assuming that it's not. So, yeah, I used this summer to kind of like pour back into myself emotionally because I was actually in like a depressive episode. And so some of the things that I did with the kids, it really was like me pouring back into myself. Like we would go to the park on the days that on the days that I wasn't just being an asshole, being an adult. I would literally, hop up on the jungle gym and like climb on it, climb upside down, like do all type of stuff. And like hit the monkey bars. I jump roped for the first time in so long. I climbed a tree as well, which I haven't done since I was a kid. And I also got stung by a bee, which I haven't had happen since I was a kid, and that wasn't fun, y'all. Like I honestly thought I might have needed to go to the hospital. Like it was terrible, okay? But we ain't gonna focus on that. Okay, we're not even gonna focus on that. But I just know that this summer it felt like a true testament, like a reminder to just, make life simple, bro. Just sometimes you just really have to make life simple. And I think that teaching these different lessons to the kids, for example, like patience, oh my gosh, that's something that kids really cannot fathom or grasp or understand, but like those small lessons that you have to practice patience, or that life isn't fair, or these different things, or that certain rules apply to certain people under certain conditions. Everything doesn't always apply to everyone. Every rule doesn't apply to every setting, like all of these different things. And so it was a reminder to my inner child to, kind of accept these lessons, or like revisit the lessons that are hard for us to accept even as adults. And that, coming out of this depressive episode at the end of the summer, I was like reflecting on the summer, and I was just like, well, although I'm not too happy about everything that's happened this summer, or too happy about everything that has happened this year or quarter two, overall, I was able to kind of nurture my inner child and my mental health just through the work that I do. So I'm grateful for that, and I'm appreciative of that. And then my next blessing is also work related, because towards the end of the summer, my director was like, hey, pretty much I want to bring you on to my consulting business. So she also has a mental health consulting business that she is really solo, and there's no one else besides her. So, she was like, yeah, I'm interested in bringing you in if you're interested, because I know your background is mental health anyway. You've got social work experience, you've got counseling experience, you've got grief support experience, you've got experience with children. Now I'm just bragging and going on, but anyway, she's like, yeah, go ahead and let me know if you're down. I'm like, yeah, bet. So I'm actually working inside of the middle schools right now. There's a middle school that I work with inside of the Columbus City Schools District. And that's been so exciting because it is a group of all Black and brown girls. Like it's a girl group, and they're all Black and brown. That means, that literally means so much to me because of the fact that there is actually just one, one step closer to mental health and social emotional learning and things like that for Black kids. And I'm like, for me to be a part of it, oh baby, we about to rock this out. We got podcasts. I'm literally working on a podcast project with them on important topics to them. So I am beyond blessed to have that opportunity as well, because I feel like everything, everything is everything, obviously. And I think last year I had spent so much time struggling to get different things in order. For example, starting a podcast, starting an advocacy page. What does that look like to actually consistently post normalizing conversations around mental health and realistic self-care? I used to make, graphic designs. I can't think of the what I'm actually trying to call. Oh, infographics. I used to make like infographic content, and then I switched to video content. Um, and then I've created like some digital mental wellness tools. For August, I did like an August self-care challenge. I released a tool called Feeling Some Type of Way, which is dealing with difficult emotions. So all of these different things are kind of like building on projects I had started to plan out last year, but they didn't really come into fruition. It's like I am definitely a creative. I have a degree in psychology and a degree in literature. So when I say I have creative projects, I've got creative projects from middle school, okay? Like I've got books, I've got poems, I've got all of these different things that I've started years back. So for me to have come into the after school program and then have this all day access with the kids during the summer program, and I also met an SEL practitioner through the summer program who taught me, she kind of just really taught me about the path to doing SEL practitioner and working inside of the schools and publishing books, publishing curriculum and everything like that. Now I'm actually working inside of the schools with the kids. So it's really just been one step one step after another for me to be able to like flourish in my own brand. And mental illness aside, I am really still learning how to like balance all of the different things that I want to do and all of the different things that I want the brand to develop into, because I even hosted like my first event for my brand back this summer. So before the summer camp really got up and running into motion, I hosted a self-care event at my house, and it was honestly, it was all women, and it was all women that I know in real life, so it wasn't much, but I just really needed to break that ice, okay? Like, I couldn't risk having strangers and things like that up front. So I just feel like that small event was like the beginning of the type of events that I would like to do. And I got great suggestions, like great feedback, and I'm planning on doing a males only event like that this summer. I mean, not this summer, but this month actually. And I have a lot going on because I'm actually moving apartments in a couple weeks. And so, adulting. But I definitely plan on releasing some big projects for the mental wealth agenda. So if you don't have me on social media, like, you literally need to get me on social media, because I don't know what else to tell you. Like, I'm pretty sure my Gumroad account, which I have released tools through, will allow me to send things directly to customers by email. But you feel me? If I don't have your email, then what am I supposed to do? Like, I don't know what y'all want me to do if y'all not following me. So that's something that I know that I can be, that I can announce to look forward to, like other digital tools I'm working on. So I'm also working on like a journal prompt ebook that's just filled with journal prompts, introducing people to like emotional communication with themselves and other little projects. So this is the point in the episode where I start to feel like everything is redundant and I'm like kind of dissociating, and I'm like, wait, where am I at? So before I make this a complete mess, I'm pretty sure y'all got it. Like, didn't y'all get the message that I've actually been caring for self behind closed doors, and I've been caring for self so that way I could get back to advocating for self-care for you all? Because that was really the message. That's really what I have to say on the podcast episode. I'm not going to waste anyone's time and try to promise any new release schedule or anything like that. Just follow me on social media. Literally, follow me on social media. Put the post notifications on. Your post notifications on for the YouTube and for the Instagram and for the TikTok. I think you could do that for the TikTok. And then if you over there on Facebook, you can always be over there following me on there. And if you're not on any social media, I feel like maybe this is your sign to get on social media and follow the mental health agenda. So that way I can see you in multiple capacities and not just, not just when you're wanting to be healthy and wanting to get self-care. I want to be in your face all the time. Like when you don't want to care for self, I want to pop up letting you know it's always good to care for self. Now really y'all, before I start making any other jokes or being unnecessary, I'd like to encourage y'all to share this video with one person you love, one person you trust, one person you care for, one person you would like to normalize conversations around mental health with and realistic self-care for, and make sure they are up to date on my account and following me, because I'm out here supporting mental health